Hello everyone, welcome back. I am Sourabh, QA by experience and AI explorer by enthusiasm. In previous episode, we explored why developers resist AI. Today it's all about flipping the script. How we'll be talking about how teams can create a real impactful AI adoption. Yeah, Pramod.
Yeah, hi Saurabh. Hey, that was a nice introduction, by the way. Pretty nice. Yeah, hi again, everyone. I'm Pramod Sridhar, a seasoned backend development expert, over 13 years of experience in the software industry. Excited to be back in this podcast. Right, so in the last episode, uh, we started giving the diagnosis of how to treat the issue of people not or being redirected into AI. Now, this one is going to be more of prescription. So we're going to talk more of the strategy, the structure, and how it actually should work.
Make sure that resistance goes away.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest mental block is seeing AI as not a replacement but as an enhancement. Like when I use AI to write data-heavy test cases, it is not dumbing down my work. It is freeing up my brain for strategy.
Totally. So when I use AI, not only I'm writing lesser code, but I think always that I'm also writing better code, a faster and cleaner code too. So that is also enabling me to focus more on the architecture part of it and the logic which is required for the business logic use case, while AI handles all the boilerplate code or the redundant code which I usually have to sit and write everything manually on my own.
So we know all the benefits that we are getting out of it. Let's sure this happens for others as well. The combo of human creativity and machine speed is deadly powerful. So if you let it complement your workflow instead of fight it, the results are just magical.
So, well, every successful transformation, what we've seen, should begin with a psychological safety, isn't it? So that becomes a real foundation of anything which you start on. You can't just build a good AI habits when you have a fear-driven team, which is not that easier to adopt AI in the system, isn't it, Saurabh?
So yeah, that's what our leaders are coming up with when leaders admit they are still figuring things out, whether it's prompt engineering, judging the output quality. It gives everyone a permission to try. All of us are learning here. All of us are experimenting. So that top-bottom approach works really well. And what our leaders have done is not just provide this safe space for experimentation. They have added incentives. They have added awards system in the teams, which used to be some value-based award. Now it's the learning-based award. What new topics you are coming up with? What new experimentations you have done? On top of that, within our team, what we have implemented to create this safe space is a word of the day topic we have added. Each member comes up with a word, talks about it for 5 minutes, and others do their own homework after taking that word in, and then they come up with a word the next day. So this learning environment we have created that creates this safe space for everybody.
Quite an interesting one. So that actually gives everyone an equal opportunity to learn, isn't it? Well, actually, we follow something similar in our team too. So we have introduced something called Friday Lab Hour, just to use AI tools within the team. So of course, you don't have to have any delivery pressure. Just explore and then play around with the AI tools, come up with the learnings, spread it across with the team. Whatever has been adopted by you in that particular week. So that is something helping us as well to understand how AI is progressing and keeping us up to date too.
So we are encouraging our team members at two levels, team level and at organization level.
Mhm.
And there was this another idea that our agile coach leader came up with, speaks about retros more passionately. Retros are gold mines. So a team sets aside 10 minutes to discuss AI win or confusion, AI win or confusion in each retro. And these 10 minutes are just are changing all the patterns. We are seeing prompts are getting better. We are seeing tools improve through shared use.
Yes, yes, totally. Okay.
So like with anything else, learning AI is also a skill arc. It's not a light switch. The more you do of one thing, the better you get at it. Yeah. In Hindi there is a kahavat, they say karat karat abhyat te jadmati hot sujan rasri avat jat te sil par padat nishan. So what that means is when a rope keeps coming and going back forth on a well's wall, you see the indentation there with a rope. So doing practicing one thing again and again really helps. You don't wake up one day knowing how to write world class prompts, right?
Absolutely. That's how they say, right? Practice makes a man perfect, but now in the software engineering context, practice make developers perfect. So yeah, so I mean, if you ask me on that front, I would like to frame it in this way. So I would classify things into four different steps, observer mode, assistant mode, collaborator mode, and then the integrated mode. So
Can you
yes,
modes?
yes, I'm
Yeah.
coming to that now. So we'll start with observer mode first. Okay. So when you are new into a system, or you're already working on some part of the code which you're not created by you or written by you, so you could make use of explained code functionality using these AI tools. Okay, that's going to be the first observer mode. So you're observing how the code has been generated, what are the standards they are following, etc., etc. Right? So especially for the ones which are not documented in the coding practice. That's the first step. The second step would be assistant mode. So now you make use of AI as your own assistant to generate some test cases. Of course, every developer has to create unit test cases, right? That's how the development is complete. So you could make use of assistants to create your test cases. There are a lot of boilerplate coding when it comes to development. So you create APIs with a lot of redundant code again. Those kind of things can be eliminated with the help of AI assistants now. And configurations. So if you make use of open API specification or something, there are tons of code which are coming as part of configurations, and also follows indentations. So that's
Yeah.
going to be easier for developers to get rid of it. And the third mode, which I would call, is a collaborator mode. So now you could make use of AI as your fellow developer in writing a production ready code. Of course, pair it with something like TDD, test driven development. So that will actually help you to analyze the code written by the AI is of standard and meeting the business logics or not. And you can also use AI reviews now with the help of AI assistants. So that's going to be a proper collaborator working alongside you, helping you to develop the code. And the last one is going to be integrated mode. So often, Saurabh, we see that, be it developer or QA, whenever we start working on something, right, we run into issues. That's how enterprise
Yeah.
applications work. So as soon as that happens, we'll go back to Google or Stack Overflow, start prompting for different issues, right? And we never get the exact issue which we are actually looking for. So
Yeah.
these AI assistants could be of a good integrated version of that, giving us dedicated answers to our own problems. So I would again say these different four modes would be the right one to approach, and then learn how to make use of AI assistants in your daily work.
Okay, that is a very nice plan that you have provided us. Let me reiterate it once again for our audience. We have observer mode, assistant mode, collaborator mode, and integrated mode.
Absolutely.
You implement each one for a week and you see the differences. And by the end of it, what will start happening is you'll start within your ID, you'll start using your, let's say, Copilot like a Google. You'll start chatting with it and naturally and fluently.
Definitely, whatever you
Uh,
might be using, whether Copilot or an Amazon Q, whichever AI assistant tool you're using, make use of it as your own, buddy developer in the team.
But just to reassure the audience, it's not a 4 week plan. You can take as many weeks as you want on each mode. Each person might spend different weeks in each phase, and that's okay. The key here is patience and structure.
Yeah. Or you can do everything in 1 week as well, depending on your own experience and expertise.
So, you also mentioned that practice makes man perfect.
Yep.
So, and another way of saying that is practice matters more than hype. Uh,
Absolutely. So I'm going to tell you
yeah.
how it worked for our team first, okay? Like, of course, we were also very new when we started with AI, right? So I would like to share things that worked for us, and then maybe it would help even the new developers who are pitching in to try AI. So what we did on a repetitive basis was prompt libraries. So every now and then developers keep prompting for the code which has to be generated, right? So we made use of that as a library. So we started adding all our prompts into a library, grouping them across developers. That's going to be like a base for us. So we could go back and see those prompts, use it again in a different situation, and then try to generate something similar. So that can be reused and improved further. And then we
Can
started
I
writing.
can I stop you for a
Sure.
bit here?
Yep.
Yeah, so this is an interesting idea. We have heard this before that whatever prompts works the best for you, store them. But what you're talking about here is shared libraries, which we
Yep.
also talked about in the retro point that we mentioned. That tools grow better when they are shared among the team. So any prompt that works better for you, if you put it in a common space, others can make use of that as well. So prompt
Absolutely.
libraries is a brilliant idea
So
at a
that's what
shared
we came.
level.
Yes, yes. That helped our team immensely actually. So few of them were junior developers, few of them were experienced, and we started sharing our own prompt experience in the libraries, and that started working even better for us. And we were able to refine further too. That was quite a good win. Okay, and the next one
What
in the
other
list
practice,
is
yeah, that you made use of that worked the best for your team?
sure, sure. The next one, what we started following is TDD with the AI. So, like I already covered, you could start using it as your own collaborator mode. So, AI will start writing the code for you. But how would you validate if the AI has written proper code or not? If it's meeting your business logic or not? That's why we started writing with the TDD. So, first we start writing test cases for our own use case. Keep it simple. Let's say if it has to add three numbers, that would be a test case. So that's the starting point. So then we start actually developing the actual code with the help of AI. You're now meeting the standards as well with the help of
Hmm.
tests, right? And then after testing, what we also used to follow as a standard was static checks. So the code has been written, but is it matching all the quality gate standards? We were using Sonar Cube in our integrations, so we always used to match that with the standard. So we already had set of standards set by the organization for Sonar Cube, isn't it? So every now and then we used to compare that to the code generated by the AI. So
Yeah.
only when it matches all our standards, then it was ready to be pushed further. That's how we used to put a check mark on it.
It
And the
sounds
last one.
great. Sonar itself has come up with its own AI, but even if you're not making use of Sonar AI, Sonar in combination with your Copilot generated code can work wonders for your code. Yeah.
Enough, right? And then commit tagging. So what we also started following was, whenever there's a code block generated by AI, we used to mark it as generated by AI, including the original prompts. I mean, we were under that team thing, which there was no shame in saying out that we were using AI for our regular use case. We were also supported by the organization too. So we made it a practice that put the prompts, let it know that it's AI generated code, and that's going to help even others later on. So these four things, the prompt libraries, TDD with AI, the static checks following the AI code, and the commit tagging really helped us better our AI prompts
Yeah,
in the
this
weeks.
this last point that you mentioned, that's a brilliant idea in removing that shame away from it. It does not mean that the ownership of the code doesn't stay with you. You are still the owner, but that tagging part will work brilliantly.
Yes.
And while you are doing that, adding the tag to it, you can include the prompts there as well, the original prompts, and that can be used later as well. And as we have already talked about prompt libraries, prompt hygiene is very important. Bad prompts give bad results. We train our team to define context, requirements, expected output style, like talking to a very literal dev.
Yeah, yeah. Sure. So that's what I've seen many people say that I've given prompts. AI doesn't work the way it's supposed to. It always gives us not so good results. But I've also seen people give some, very small prompt saying create login page, very generic. How would AI understand what you want to do or what are the standards you want to set, right? So I would say give a more precise prompt. Say, let's say, for example, you're creating a login page using React. So you say generate a React component with email, password as the fields. Use some inline material UI validation, and then also submit the state handling. So yeah, the deeper you go with the more context, it's going to generate the kind of code you want for your own use case. So that difference is going to be more dramatic compared to just giving create login page and then you're done with it. So I would say just keep more focus, put more focus on giving us dedicated prompt.
That's a really good example, and prompts work very well when you provide them with in a layered context, and prompts can work in multiple contexts as well, as in you can provide set context first and then ask your question.
Yep.
So we have already established what you can do. Now let's talk about the signs that we are making progress. Everything is quantifiable, but how do you know that you have made progress? So let me ask this, Pramod, to you. Have you anyway been able to keep track, like that your team is making progress? What tells you that there is a progress being made?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's easy for me because we're already following some no shame practices, right? So in our PRs, we've been putting across saying generated by AI along with the prompts which we use. So without any shame, that is actually giving a traction saying all of us are using AI to the required extent. And then the prompts which we actually use to generate some kind of coding, we are sharing within the developers. So that
Yeah.
swap prompt ideas is actually working, and that makes us feel that all of us are equally contributing. And you can also realize that the bugs which were coming in full flow have now reduced, and then reviews are getting tightened and stricter as well, and merging gets faster. So what happens in the pre-AI, what used to happen in the pre-AI era was that the reviews used to go back and forth between the developer and the reviewer. So people were not sure what exactly to fix, how exactly to fix, and then that used to take a longer time. Now, with all these AI assistants, the merging gets faster, faster time to development, and most of all, when you hear devs saying, that was fun again, I'm going to go back and then generate the code again with the help of AI. So these things are sure to make you understand that team is progressing well with the AI.
As a QA, I don't know what to feel when you said the number of bugs are dropping. I guess good for the product, but beautifully said, Pramod. Yes, productivity is a win. Yes, your KPI markers are going up. All that is well. But the real win here would be when a guy comes and says, "Yeah, that was fun." So what we'll hope here is that people are not just using it as a duty, but our job is done when somebody starts using it and they say that, "Oh, we were excited to use that." What you said was right, and implementing this was a fun idea.
Yep, totally. And just that AI is not our enemy for any development process, right?
For
So
sure not.
people have to understand it. They have to evolve alongside with the AI because AI is evolving in a rapid pace, and then we should start using AI often in our own daily practices, and then make the most out of it. That's going to help us even further and build something even better as compared to where we stand right now.
And quoting one of the things we said in the last podcast, press that reset button on yourself. So that would be a wrap today, a wrap for the day, folks. Thanks, Pramod. Thanks, all of you, for listening. Whether you are curious, cautious, or already deep in AI waters, we are building this future together, one experiment at a time.
Yep. Thank you, Saurabh, and happy learning to everyone. See you again soon.
Thank
Take
you,
care.
everyone.